Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And dear God, not again. Once more with children and socialism. This time it's Wales, where the socialists in Wales are pushing gender identity and that kind of trans ideology again onto 7-year-old children. 7-year-olds. This time they're saying that they can be mixed berry gender fluid muffins. This one actually isn't coming from the schools, which makes a change because normally it's the lefty socialists in schools that push this sick agenda. But no, this is actually coming from the lefty socialist Welsh government that's pushing this sick agenda. What is it? We know why they constantly do it. The socialists constantly, their single-minded obsession with children. It's because we know they're all a little bit seedy and they're all a little bit peedy, aren't they? It's why they do it. They constantly do it. So we'll take a look at this article and say, why aren't children safe in school? Because you can guarantee the parents have not been told about this. Let's go. So it says 7-year-olds can be mixed berry gender fluid muffins. Teachers are instructed. And this is, like I say, it's coming from the socialists in the Welsh government. Actually, it makes a change there. I'm looking at that. They've actually got a Welsh flag in there, which makes a change because normally you'd imagine it would be a trans flag and a little rainbow flag and all that, because that's what they foist onto children usually, isn't it? Anyway, young children can be mixed berry gender fluid muffins. A government document has instructed teachers in Wales. The 170-page agenda document, because it's always agendas, isn't it, with the socialists, or in this case, a gender. Anyway, detailing how sex education should be taught in Wales, reportedly instructs teachers that children as young as 7 can be mixed berry gender fluid muffins. Why are you turning human beings into food? Why can't you treat these children with respect and give them the human rights by not treating them as anything other than human beings? Why are you dehumanizing them? Oh, that's right, because if you dehumanize them, you can do what the hell you like to them without feeling guilty. It seems to be the sort of the power play that we used in 1930 in Germany. So well done. Well done. You're following the same playbook as they did then. It is the latest evidence of militant transgenderism being taught in British schools. See my 1,000 videos before this. With government officials in both the UK and neighbouring Ireland becoming increasingly keen to see gender ideology taught as fact to young children, even though it is not fact. According to a report by The Telegraph, the sex ed pamphlet produced by Cardiff University academics in partnership with the Welsh Government tells the country's teachers that there are many different genders. There's 2. The document furthermore encourages teachers to play the mixed muffin gender berry challenge with children. Does it involve them taking their clothes off? Because I bet they'd like it to involve them taking their clothes off, because these teachers are all peas. It's a game which involves teaching children that you can't assume someone's gender by how they look. Actually, that's exactly what survival teaches you. That's exactly what 3.5 billion years of life on Earth has taught you, is that you do make assumptions by how things look. And if something's coming towards you and it looks dangerous, then you run away. And if you tell people that you can't assume things, then when this, quote, woman comes towards you, you don't see it as a predatory man. You see it as, oh, it's a lady, it must be safe, because that's what we're taught. And then it turns out that the lady will be, using his penis in ways that you're not entirely comfortable with. But hey, that's what they're teaching. They're teaching you to be accepting of this. This is what schools are teaching, because that's what schools and socialists want. They want to normalise the pee. Anyway, involving various batches of berry muffins, the aim of the game is to show students what it feels like to be given a gender you might not choose. You're not given a gender. You are a gender that is defined at the moment of conception. And stop confusing gender with sex. It's very stupid. Stupid people and dangerous predators do that. They try to deliberately confuse gender and sex. The stupid don't do it deliberately. The stupid do it because they're stupid. But the predatory, dangerous predatory men do it for the other reason. Another game detailed in the pamphlet reportedly asks kids to decide which sex-switching or gender-bending worlds you want to explore. which reportedly aims to crack open rigid gender binaries. Yeah, because they want these kids to be totally accepting that regardless of what adult is going to be using and abusing them, it doesn't matter if that adult is male or female or a man who dresses as a woman. That's what they're trying to encourage into the minds of these children, because it's the only reason why you try to sexualize children is because you're grooming them for your own personal pleasure. These teachers are PDs. PD teachers in PD schools with a PD government. Every single one of them. Commenting on the document, the Welsh Conservative Party's Shadow Education Minister Laura Ann Jones described the sex education material being created by the country's government as highly inappropriate and not based on biological fact. Whether it be sex education or self-ID, this Labour government in Wales is determined to push gender ideology against the wishes of the Welsh public. And I bet they're not telling the parents. I bet the parents have not been advised what is being taught in schools, because they know if they did, those kids would not be in those classes and they'd be burning pitchforks and burning torches at the gate. And that's what needs to happen. We need to start stringing these people up. We need to start making a point. We are many, they are few, and they cannot get on with continuing to sexualise children. They are peas, every single one of them. And any teacher pushing this is a pea, and you know it, and it's straight out. They are grooming your children. Wales is not the only part of Britain where such militantly pro-transgenderism material is being taught to children. With UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak last week being forced to announce a review of sex ed across the country amid revelations of pupils were being taught that there's up to 100 different genders. Children as young as 12 are also said to have been taught about things such as going up the rear end, into the mouth, and pleasuring oneself while in sex education classes, while some have reportedly been told that the concept of virginity is merely a social construct. Yeah, told this by the teachers. These teachers are telling young girls, oh, don't worry about your virginity. It's only a social construct. Let me do this, and then you still pretend to be a virgin. They're not telling the teachers. They're not telling the parents. This is all behind closed doors. Every parent needs to be up their school and finding out what these peas are doing to your children. Meanwhile, the progressive government in neighbouring Ireland have been pushing hard for gender ideology to become a key part of sex ed in the country's schools. Yeah, because they're no different in Ireland. In Ireland, all the politicians want the kids sexualised so that everyone can have their fun with your children. The backlash has only led to officials doubling down. There's a massive backlash in Ireland about this, but it's led to the officials doubling down on the move to add this transgenderism to the curriculum, while the country's Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, and as well as a number of other senior ministers coming out to publicly back the plan to sexualise very young children. This is Ireland, and this is what they're doing. But hey, who am I to say anything? Because the moment you stand up and say, it's wrong, you should not be sexualising children, you're a bigot. Well, fuck them. I'm not a bigot. I am not going to be sitting there and letting anyone do this to children. Every single teacher needs to be vetted, because if they're pushing this, they're all peas. There's no other word for it. That's what they are. And every politician that backs it is a pea. And every group that backs it, they're peas. Every single one. And if you vote for the left, if you vote Labour, you're going along with this, and anyone who votes Labour is pushing this. And if you've got children and you're voting Labour, you've got to ask yourself, why? Why are you voting for your children to become someone else's pleasure? I'm going to finish and come up. It's always socialists and it's always children. But it's very, very cancerous. They want to do this. They want to constantly push this agenda and groom children, because they think if they can get into their minds when they're young, they'll accept it as normal. They'll accept that grown adults can do these things to them, and it's not anything that they need to run away and tell their parents about. And it is quite sick. And you have to ask, why is it always the left? Why do they constantly want to push this on children? Why are they scared of telling the parents? If there was a good reason to do it, they'd be doing it openly. And they'd be telling parents in advance, this is what we're going to do in the class. But the very, very fact that they hide it, that they don't tell parents, that they keep it within a classroom and tell children, let's keep it our little secret, shows that even they are ashamed to do it, because they knew that if people knew what they were doing with children and it got out, then real normal people would probably visit upon them such levels of extreme retribution that they'd probably need hospital food for quite some time. And I wouldn't blame any parent, if I heard about it, from doing that. If I heard that somebody had gone into a school and, let's just say, did a thing to a teacher that involved implements and being inserted because, you know, they'd discussed this, you know, this stuff with their 7-year-old, I would say, well, the teachers just got a very valuable sex education lesson, haven't they? And that's how it's got to be. We've got to take control back. We cannot let people like this do these things to children, groom them, prepare them for abuse effectively without making a stance. So please, God, monitor what's happening in your child's school. Monitor what your children are being taught and demand lesson plans. It's your legal right. Demand a lesson plan and make sure that nobody goes into that school to speak to your child that you are not aware of. So any of these guest speakers, it must require your explicit permission. And if you wish to attend, make sure that you have the right to attend. And if they say no, you have to ask why they don't want a parent watching what they're doing to your child. That'll make them think twice before they start doing this shit. Anyway, I'll stop now before I get too angry on it. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, please do hit that subscribe button down at the bottom and let's keep an eye on these people. Let's make our voice louder. Ring the bell for notifications of future output. Leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, monitor everything that your school is doing with your child, and goodbye.